So we are getting closer to Nibbana all the time. So we go to page 134. So as we have finished Mind-o Javana Vara cognitive series, now we begin Mind-o Apana Javana cognitive series. So in this cognitive series, Apana Javana will occur. So there are 26 Apana Javanas. No, so we enumerate below. So we have 5 Rupa Vajra Kusala Chaita, 4 Arupa Vajra Kusala Chaitas. That means we have 9 Mahakata Kusala Chaita. And then we have 9 Mahakata Kriya Chaita and 8 Lokutara Chaita. So totaling 26. So remember the Javana, Apana Javanas are, no? So ku kari phala, we say there. So Apana means Jhana, Megha and Phala. So you have to take all the Javana, the Jhana, not the Jhana Chaita. So the Jhana Chaitas, in this Chaita chart. So we have, these Mahakata Chaitas are Jhana Chaitas and also Lokutara Chaitas, they are Megha Chaita and Phala Chaita. So we have to take only the Chaita that are combined with Jhana. So in the Ku, the second Ku is Kusala, so we take 5 Rupa Vajra Kusala, 4 Arupa Vajra Kusala. We call them 9 Mahakata Kusala Chaita. And Kri, in the Kri we take 5 Rupa Vajra Kriya, 4 Arupa Vajra Kriya, we call them 9 Mahakata Kriya Chaita. And then we take only the Lokutara Jhana Chaita. So you can see here there are 20, the Megha Chaita and 20 Phala Chaita. But we can also include this, the Lokutara Chaita, not accompanied by Jhana. We can also take them. So altogether, if you take only this 8, 9, 18, and plus 8, you get 26. So we consider the 5 Rupa Vajra Jhana cognitive series first. It is given on page 135. Now I'd like to tell you the whole process, the cognitive series that can arise in a whole process of meditation. Now to get these Jhana Chaitas, we have to undertake meditation. We call them Samatha meditation. And like you do the Atkasina meditation. So first we focus on the Adist and with open eyes, and then we reflect Patavi, Patavi, Patavi. So when we are doing that meditation, so as we open our eyes, so there will be idle cognitive series will be arising. Not just like this, not just like this. So the Javana Chaita at that time would be Mahakusala Chaita. Mahakusala Chaita at that time. Now, you after developing certain concentration, we say when you close your eyes, you can see the Adis clearly in your mind eye. With closed eye, you can see the Adis. So we say you attain the acquired sign or the learning sign. Then you continue your meditation by reflecting on this acquired sign. With closed eye now, Patavi, 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 you reflect. So at that time, Padviti will arise. So, as the acquired sign or the learning sign, they are just concept. Not just concept, nothing exists there actually, but it is the concept. So it appears only in the mind door. So at that time you are having mind door cognitive series. So on page 30 it will be number 2. It will be number 2. Because the Dhalamana arises only in the Kama Javana or Kama Javana Chaita. So that means the Dhalamana arises in a Kama person, and when the Kama Javana is arising, and when he is taking only Kama object, only when these three things are fulfilled, you can get the Dhalamana. In Kama person means in human beings and the celestial being, Kama beings, not in the Brahma beings. And then only when you are taking Kama sense object. No, Kama sense object is just like the visible object. So when the object is very clear. And then only when you are taking Kama sense objects, and only when Kama Javana is arising. So now we are taking we say the learning sign as the object. The learning sign is not a Kama object. It is not just it does not exist. So it's not the Kama object. So the Dhalamana do not arise. So we get only number 2, Nadama, 7 Javana, Nadama, 7 Javana, Nadama, 7 Javana, will be arising in us while we are meditating. So again, if we are meditating, the Javana would be Mahakusala Chaita, only Mahakusala Chaitas again. Now we say you just continue meditating on that, and finally, that the learning sign becomes very clear and bright, like the star or like the not the sun, the moon. Then we say you attain the counter sign. Then you reflect on that counter sign, fix your mind on that, we say. So at that time, what would be the viti? The same as this number 2 again. Because the counter sign is also concept. Concept. So again you get Nadama, 7 Javana, Nadama, 7 Javana while you are reflecting. Now when you get into the jhana, then the viti on page 135 arises at that time. So the viti we described there. Manda Panya is the person with slow wisdom. Manda means slow down. So slow wisdom person. And Tikha Panya is person with quick wisdom. So the cognitive series arise in that way. And the same thing with our Anapanasati we are doing now. So now we are doing in the in-breath and out-breath. So we are trying to be aware of the in-breath and out-breath. So we try to aware of the in-breath and out-breath by the gentle touch. So if if we are taking notice of the touch, then it would be Ghana Dwara Viti would be arising. The Kaya Dwara Viti. So Kaya Dwara Viti will be arising. But we are not taking taking that. We are just taking the in-breath and the out-breath. So what is the object then? The in-breath and out-breath, we don't see it. We don't see it. It's not included among the 5, the visible object. Or this visible object is not the sound, and it is not the smell, it's not the taste, it is not the touch. So it becomes the mind object, mind object. So it appears only in the mind door. Then in that case also, the mind object, the viti would be as the number 2 viti again, Nadama, 7 Javana, Nadama, 7 Javana. Then we say you just keep on this meditation, and finally you will get the acquired sign or the learning sign. So we say when the white mass of cotton appears, or just like a ruby, a pearl appears at the touching point, then you attain the acquired sign. So at that time you fix your attention on that, the acquired sign or learning sign. Keep meditating. So again your viti is still Nadama, 7 Javana. And this Javana is only Mahakusala Chaita, because you don't get the jhana yet. Now when you get the jhana, then again the same. No, your viti would be just as described in page 135. So this viti is similar to that number 2, no, the kama javana viti. So na dhamma, if you look there, here also na dhamma. No, you are taking the counter sign, no, in this viti. So when that counter sign appears in the mind door, so the Bhuvinga stream vibrates 2 times as Bhuvinga chalana, Bhuvingupachida, and it is cut off. No, Bhuvinga stream is cut off. Then Manodwara Vachana will arise. Manodwara Vachana will take notice of that sense object, that is the counter sign, and determines whether it's good or bad. No, so according to that, the determination, so the Javana Cheta, so in the viti number 2 on page 130, we say Javana Cheta arises 7 times. But here in this, the Jhana viti, Apana Javana viti, the Javana Cheta arises 5 times. Instead of 7, it arises only 5 times. So the Pa, U, Nu, Go, Ja. Now these are the Javana Cheta. Now Ja is actually the Jhana Cheta. Now Pa, U, Nu, Go, we explain in the middle of that page. So if you look in the under the second paragraph, you can see, and also we read the description here first. The number 1, the first paragraph. Please read. When the Patibhaganamita of Kasina appears at the mind door, the light continuum vibrates twice and becomes arrested, represented by nada. Then Manodwara Vachana Ma adverts or directs the consciousness stream towards the Patibhaganamita, and it also observes and decides the sense object, whether it is good or bad. Then according to this, the determination, one of the 2 somanasa sahakatam, jnana sampayutam, mahakusala chetas performs the upachara samadhi javana function 4 times in the person of slow or Tao wisdom, Manda Panya person, under the names of Pa-u-nu-go. So now these Pa-u-nu-go are, what are the Cheta? Somanasa Sagadam, Jnana Sampayutam, Mahakusala Cheta. So it is number 1, Mahakusala Cheta. They are not the Jhana Cheta yet. Now, what is Pa? Pa is called Parikama, preparation of Jhana. Now, it prepares the conditions so that the Jhana Cheta can arise. U is Upachara, proximity of Jhana. So it is the Cheta that arises. Now, proximity means near, not near to the Jhana Cheta. And Nu is Anuloma. It is adaptation or connection between Prikama and Jhana. That is between the lower Cheta and the higher Jhana. It acts as a bridge, harmonizing the lower Chetas with the higher Chetas. It is just like a staircase also. So to climb up to the higher Jhana. It functions like that. And then we have Go, not G-O, we don't say Go, it's Go. And it represents Godrabu. So the Cheta that cuts the Kama lineage to form the exalted or Mahekata lineage. So the meaning here is, up to this Godrabu, it is only Mahakusala Cheta. And Mahakusala Cheta belongs to the Kama Cheta, Kama Vachara Cheta. So we say, when you are developing Mahakusala Cheta, you are still in the Kama lineage. because only karma chaita arising, we say you are in the karma lineage. No? Then after Godrabu, so and the Viti above, you see, you get Ja. That Ja actually represents the Jhana Chaita. So as soon as you have the Jhana Chaita, that is Rupa Vajara, first Jhana Chaita, you attain the Mahekata Chaita. Mahekata Chaita. So we say you are now in the Mahekata lineage. So we say Godrabu is the Chaita that cuts the Karma lineage to form the exalted or Mahekata lineage. Then we continue reading. So these four Chaitas are known as Upachara Samadhi Jamana. So they are also Upachara Samadhi Jamana Chaita. In the case of a person of quick or bright wisdom, Tekha Panya, Parikama is the excluded. So you look at the Viti Chaita above. So for Tekha Panya, we say it is not Dhamma, so no Prikama. So we have Unugo and then Jhana. And after Jhana, only Bhuvinga Chaita will keep arising. So you just read the next paragraph. Immediately after Godrabu, Rupa Vajra Kusala, first Jhana Chaita, arises just once as Apana Jhavana. After the dissolution of this first Jhana Chaita, Bhuvinga stream flows on as usual. When we say Bhuvinga stream, Bhuvinga Chaita keeps on rising one after another as usual. So when we first attain the Jhana, that Jhana Chaita always arises only one time. And then we come out of the Jhana. When Bhuvinga Chaita arises, you are no longer in the Jhana. So we say you come out of the Jhana. Okay. Now after you attain the first Jhana, you practice this to be very skillful in developing that Jhana. So in practicing, we mean you re-meditate on the counter sign again. Now when you are out of the Jhana, you have no Jhana. So you have to develop it again. So you close your eyes again. Now that counter sign will appear in your mind eye. Since you have high concentration near the Jhana. So as soon as you close your eye, the counter sign will appear again. So you keep your mind fixed on that counter sign. Then your concentration will arises and the Jhana Chaita will arises again. So by that way you develop the Jhana again and again. Finally you can develop it almost immediately. You can get the first Jhana. So then we say you are skillful in that. Then you can go on to develop the second Rupa Vajra Jhana. So when you develop the second Rupa Jhana, you have to eliminate Vitaka. So again you reflect on the counter sign again. Like in the Kasina meditation, even in the counter sign you reflect Patavi, Patavi, Patavi. Like in Anapanasati, as we don't label it in breath out breath, we just keep our mind fixed on that counter sign. Now if you don't allow Vitaka to arise in the mind, it doesn't arise anymore. It does not arise. So you are now reflecting on that without Vitaka. So when you attain your concentration rises, you get the second Jhana. So this time the second Jhana does not contain Vitaka. So remember the first Jhana contains all the five Jhana, the Jhana factors. So in the second Jhana we eliminate Vitaka. You get only Vichara, Piti, Sukha, Ekagata. Now in your book number 2, the second Rupa Vajra Apana Viti arises as above, as in number 1. Allowing Rupa Vajra Kusala second Jhana. This time the Ja is second Jhana Chaita to function as Apana Jhavana just one. So the second Jhana will arise only once and Bhuvinga Chaita will follow. So you attain the second Jhana now. Then you develop the practice to be skillful in the second Jhana, and then meditate on that counter sign again. This time, you eliminate both vitaka, vichara. You don't allow vitaka, vichara to arise in your mind. Just keep your mind fixed on that counter sign. Just try to reflect on it. When your mind remains absorbed in that counter sign for 1 hour, 2 hours or more, we say you are taking the jhana. This time it is the third jhana. The viti is the same again. Now the jhana would be the third rupa vajra jhana. Then you develop to be skillful on this, and then you develop the fourth jhana in the same way. But this time you also eliminate piti. So vitaka, vichara, piti are eliminated. So you get the fourth jhana. Then when you go to the fifth jhana, again you meditate on the counter sign again. But here you also eliminate the sukha. So you don't take sukha anymore. So when you meditate, it's when you don't have sukha, upekha will arise in your mind. So every consciousness accompanied by feeling. When there is no sukha feeling, will be upekha, neutral feeling will be arising. So now you keep on meditating. When you attain the jhana, then the fifth jhana arises once, just as above. Now just read number 5 at the bottom of page 135. The fifth rupa vajra apana viti arises as in one, but instead of one of the two somanasa sakatam, jnana sambyutam mahakusala chaitas, one of the two upekha sakatam, jnana sambyutam mahakusala chaitas perform the upachara samadhi jhavana function 4 or 3 times, and rupa vajra kusala fifth jhana chaitas arises just once to function as apana jhavana chaita. So if you look on page 135, on that viti, the jhana viti, so we say, up to the fourth jhana, you are samadhi, the upachara samadhi jhavana. So paunuko, they are called upachara samadhi jhavana. They must be somanasa sagatam, the jnana samyutam mahakusala chaita. The reason is up to the fourth jhana, rupa vajra. So these jhana are accompanied by sukha, that is similar to, that's the same as somanasa sagatam. So up to first to fourth jhana, they are somanasa sagatam. So if they are somanasa sagatam, the preceding mahakusala chaita, that acts as paunuko, must also be the somanasa sagatam. So as the jhana chaita are accompanied by wisdom, it must be somanasa sagatam, jnana samyutam mahakusala chaita. So they must agree, the upachara samadhi jhavana and the apana jhavana, they must agree in feeling. Now when you come to the fifth jhana, the fifth jhana is accompanied by neutral feeling, upekha sagatam. So this mahakusala chaita must also be upekha sagatam. So at that time, when you enter the fifth jhana, so upachara, the samadhi jhavana, paunuko, must be upekha. So you have to take this. Upekha sagatam, jnana samyutam, mahakusala chaita. So only after that you get the fifth rupa vajra jhana, just one. So we explained that in the note actually, now you understand better here. So now the long lunch break till 1 p.m. So just say sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So some people do not understand. So they like explanation why these 42 chaitas depend on Hadyavatu. The Hadyavatu is the heart base. Sometimes and sometimes do not depend on the heart base. Now the reason is this 42 chaitas. The 8 Lobha Mula chaitas, 2 Moha Mula chaitas, and then Manodwara Vajana chaita, and then 8 Mahakusala chaita, 8 Mahakriya chaita, and then what are 4 Arupavaja Kusala, 4 Arupajara Vipaka chaita. So altogether 42. So these chaitas arise in all the 3 spheres, in the sense spheres, in the 5 material sphere, and then in material sphere. That means in the like human beings, in celestial beings, in Brahma, Rupa Brahma, as well as in Arupa Brahma. So when they arise in the sense sphere and the 5 material sphere, like in us, in celestial beings, and in the Rupa Brahmas, so we have the heart base. So in the sense sphere and the 5 material sphere, in the Rupa Brahma, they have materiality, body, so they have the heart base. So this data will depend on the heart base for their arising. But they also arise in Arupa Brahma. So Arupa Brahmas do not have any body, no heart base. So they arise without depending on the heart base. They can arise without depending on the heart base because of the meditation power in developing Arupa Jhana. So when we undertake Arupa Jhana, we discuss on materiality. We don't like to have materiality. So when Arupa Kama bear result, and they are born as Arupa Brahma, they don't have materiality. So they have only mind. So this mind in Arupa Brahma, they arise without depending on materiality. And this 4 Arupa Vajra Vipaka Chaita arise only in Arupa Brahma, because the Arupa Vajra Vipaka Chaitas function as rebirth consciousness, life continuum, and death consciousness of Arupa Brahma. So as they arise only in Arupa Brahma, they never depend on the heart base. So there is also questions why Lobha Mula Chaitas and Moha Mula Chaitas arise in the Brahma. So because these Brahmas, they are not Arahats. They are not Arahats. They still have Lobha, Dosa, Moha. They still have, only in Arahats, or in moral mind, Lobha, Dosa, Moha, Chaita will not arise. So, the Brahmas, when they are born as Brahmas, they don't have to undertake meditation to develop the Jhana Chaita. Because of their previous meditation already, because of the Rupa Vajra Kama and Arupa Vajra Kama, so they can, they automatically they attain this jhana. So they live with the jhana bliss most of the time. But when you are in the jhana bliss, in the jhana attainment, we will discuss it very soon. When you are in the jhana attainment, developing jhana, only jhana chaita arising continuously for 1 hour, 2 hours, up to 7 hours at a time in human realm. We can do like that. So at that time, you don't know any other thing, because your mind is focused only on the counter sign. So you are aware of only the counter sign. So when the Brahma, they live in the jhana bliss, they will be living in the jhana attainment. So that is, they are focusing only on the counter sign. But they, sometimes they come out of the jhana, and then they talk to each other also, like the Brahma. For example, the Maha Mahasampati Brahma. He came down to the human realm, to ask, to request the Buddha, to preach the Dhamma. So he offered the Buddha the flower, very big as the Mount Meru, they say. So then he requests the Buddha, to teach the Buddha, to preach the Dhamma. The reason why the Buddha became enlightened. So when he know about this, the Dhamma, all of them very well, and he could also know the minds of the people. So he know that, most people, they have a lot of defilements, lobha, dosa, moha. They would like just to enjoy sense pleasure, living, enjoy sense pleasure. So my Dhamma is very deep, like the Abhidhamma. Essential Dhamma is the Abhidhamma. So the Suttanta Abhidhamma is just the general description. It does not go in depth. So like in Yama, we say when a monk gives a Dhamma talk, then the elder monks would ask, does he include Abhidhamma in his the preaching? No, he didn't say anything about Abhidhamma. Then his teaching, that sermon, has no essence. No essence, they say. Only when they include the Abhidhamma, it has essence. So that means Abhidhamma is the real essence of the teaching of the Buddha. So not like you see, it's very profound. Very profound. So the deepest knowledge this is. So he said, the people are so happy with the sensual pleasure. Even I preach them, they will not understand what he taught. So if they don't understand, and I'm trying to preach to them, I am only tired. I will have no good result. So no benefit. So I will not teach. First he reflect like that. So somebody, Brahma, he could read the Buddha's mind. So he came, and then he requested, please teach the Dhamma to the people. So some people have quite little defilements in their mind and in their eyes. So they would be able to understand the Dhamma. So only then the Buddha agreed to give the Dhamma talk. So when the Mahasampati Brahma came down to my and talking to the Buddha, during that time no jhana. So if there's no jhana, only Mahakusala Chaita would be arising in him. So he would be like Manodwara Vajana Chaita and Mahakusala Chaita. Will be arising. So at the same time, something like he may even think about he has enjoyed in the human realm Chinese noodles, so he like to be he may crave for the Chinese noodle. That means at that time Lobha Bhula Chaita will arise. And sometimes when he so he is just, his mind is restless. He's thinking this and that and not much, but at that time Moha Mula Chaita will be arising. So Lobha Mula, Moha Mula can arise in Brahma also. So the Brahma sometimes they will as they have very high the intelligence, that is the jhana, the mind accompanied by the jhana. So they can see, the human world. From there they can see, the human world and the human beings going around. So they may remember, in my previous life, I have sweetheart and lovers. So now sweetheart and lover, we are very happy, like in the human life. So we are happy. And sometimes they also remember that. And that's the reason also when the Brahma died, they can be born in the human realm. They are reborn in the human realm again. So that means they can have lobha. They can have lobha. So, and another question is, why do dosa mula chetas do not arise in the Brahma? In the Brahma, they do not arise. So, again, they have the conditions that when dosa need not arise. Because the Brahmas, they can enjoy this the jhana bliss most of the time. So when they are enjoying the higher place, so they are just having the jhana chaita and the kusala chaita. And they don't have sweetheart and the lovers there. Remember, the Brahmas don't have the male organs and the female organs. So that means they live alone. Most of the time they live alone. So if they live alone, so no chance to be disappointed, to be angry. So dosa mula chaita do not arise in them. And we say they lived with the four, the Brahma Vihara, sublime abodes, Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Upekha. So automatically they have the jhana. So when they read loving kindness, they relate with the jhana chaita. So if they are radiating loving kindness to all living beings with the jhana, they are living in the sublime abode. So as they lived like the Metta most of the time. Metta is a dosa. Metta is we don't have the Chitasika chart. So Metta is a dosa, the opposite of dosa. So as they live with Metta, so dosa do not arise in them. And another reason is, dosa mula chaita is associated with domanasa vedana. This dosa mula chaita. And domanasa, mental, painful feeling, is very, very hot. Very, very hot. So one of the hottest fires. So the Brahma, they have very fine material body. So if dosa mula chaita arises in them, that domanasa burns their body and they die immediately. So because of that, dosa mula do not arise in the Brahma. So I said, for us, we are used to this domanasa vedana. We are used to, so we don't mind anymore. So when we are angry, we are having the mental pain. We don't even know that. Just like the insects that live in that live on the chili pepper. There are some insect chili in pepper. They are eating the chili all the time. But they don't get burned. They don't get burned because they are used to it. The same thing with us, we are very used to it. So some people who are very angry most of the time, they are very used to it. So they are angry all the time. So let's continue with our study of Abhidhamma. So we come to page 136. In the middle of the page, we have the topic, 5 Arupa Vajra Jhana cognitive series. So this cognitive series, if you look at the two series we give here, they are the same as we mentioned on page 135. They are the same. So the cognitive series are the same. Now to get the Arupa Jhana, you have to make the 5th Rupa Vajra Jhana as the base. So you have to develop this 5th Jhana, Rupa Vajra Jhana first. And you come out of the Jhana. Then, this time, you have to also to reflect on the fall of materiality, especially this material body. Because we have material body, so, we feel very hot when the temperature is very high, and we feel very cold, and we can be frozen to death, and we can be also when very hot, we can also die. And then after sitting here for 1 hour, you get bodily pain. So you get the pain and then the itching and all these things, swelling. So, and then this body is infected by various diseases. So they say there are more than 96 types of the diseases. So because of this body, you have to walk the whole life, to feed it, and then to shelter it, to clothe it, and also to make it comfortable. So you have to get money. So you have to walk the whole life, and then this body, then it is aging. It is aging. Since we are born, every day we are getting older and older every day. And then when we are very old, so this body is a real burden. And then because on this body we have to die again. So if there's no body, no such suffering anymore, so it will be much better. So they reflect like that. So after they come out of the fifth jhana, now when you develop the fifth jhana, you have to meditate on the kasina. Only by kasina meditation we can develop arupavajara jhana. So like you have to reflect on the atmasina. And I said you get the counter sign. And when you get the counter sign, you have to expand it. Expand the counter sign. So you can expand it just by your willpower. May the counter sign becomes larger by 1 inch, and by another inch, and by another inch, and by that you can expand it to fill all the space in front of you. So now, by the focusing on that expanded the counter sign, we develop the first, second, third, and fifth, the Rupa Vajra jhana. So now when you develop the fifth Rupa Vajra jhana, you have to observe that expanded counter sign again. So when you can develop this jhana, at that time you can recall this expanded the counter sign. So by reflecting on that, you develop first, second, third, fourth, and fifth jhana. You come out of that now. Now you don't look this counter sign anymore. You don't want to look on the counter sign because this counter sign is connected with the artist you have. So it is connected with materiality. So because of that, they don't want to look at the counter sign also. So what do is they ignore or neglect the counter sign and focus on the space, infinite space, beyond the counter sign. So you don't see the space yet, but you visualize it. You know there will be space behind it. So just concentrate your mind on that space. Then they reflect akasa is space. Then your concentration rises again. So this time it rises higher than the fifth Rupa Vajra jhana. And finally you attain the concentration of akasa nanjayana jhana. Then your mind remains fixed on that counter sign. The counter sign here is just space. So remain fixed in space for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, then we say you attain the arupa jhana. So you call that arupa jhana because it focuses on akasa, space, akasa nanja yarana kusala cheta. So when you are reflecting on the counter sign, on the space, the akasa, your cognitive series at that time would be on page as shown on page 130, number 2. It will be the same as we do the Rupa Vajra jhana meditation. Your cognitive series would be page 130, number 2, Nadama 7 jamana, Nadama 7 jamana. So these jamana chetas are the Mahakusala cheta. Now when the jhana cheta, akasa nanjayana jhana cheta arises, then your cognitive series will be as shown on page 135. So if you are manda panya, slow-witted person, then your viti is nadama paunuko ja. And then if you are tikha panya, quick-witted person, your viti is nadama unugoja. So the jhana, when you develop it for the first time, it arises only once. And after that, when the jhana dissolves, only bhuvinga citta keep arising. So we can read that number one. When the Patibhaga Namitta, that is the countersign of the kasina, appears at the mind door, the life continuum vibrates twice and becomes arrested nada. Then mano dwara vachana. So, we are reading the wrong place. You don't remind me. So, now we are talking about the arupa vajara jhana. So our jhana would be as described on page 136 in the middle. So we read the number one on page 137. When the object of infinite space akasa appears at the mind door, the bhuvinga stream vibrates twice as bhuvinga chalana and bhingupachida and becomes arrested or cut off. So you get nada. After that, mano dwara vajana, observes the object and decides whether it is good or bad. So this is mano dwara vajana, nada ma up to now. Then one of the two upikha sagatam, jnana sambhyutam mahakusala citta, functions as parikama, upachara, anuloma, and godrabu in a person of slow wisdom, manda panya, or as upachara, anuloma, and godrabu in a person of quick wisdom, tikha panya. Then akasa nanjayana kusala citta arises once as apanajavana, and bhuvinga cittas sink into life continuum. So because arupa vaja jhana is upikha sagatam, so all arupa jhanas are upikha sagatam. So the paunugo, which are the mahakusala citta, so they must also be upikha sagatam. So we have already explained about this. Okay. So we go to number 2. Develop to the second arupa vajra jhana. So we call it Vinyananjayarana kusala citta, because it focus on Vinyana, the citta, that is Akasananjayarana citta. So after you attain the Akasananjayarana jhana, you practice to be skillful on that. Then when you go to the second jhana, you have to do meditation again. So this time, you develop that Akasananjayarana jhana. You come out of that jhana. Then you focus on that jhana citta. Because when you are having high jhana concentration, so we say you can easily see into your body, can see into the heart, and can see that our bhuvinga citta. So in the case of as human being, we are meditating. So our bhuvinga citta is mahavipaka citta. Mahavika citta will depend on the heart base in the heart, and it is arising. And you will see that this citta appears like a bright star, And by looking at that, you can also see that infinite space. And Akasananjayarana kusala citta taking that infinite space and arising. So we are seeing the past sense object. So when we are re-looking on this citta, that jhana citta already dissolved, we say. After you develop it, you come out with it. But you can see that as the past object. That's why we say you can see again no, the infinite space. And Agasananjayana Chaita taking that infinite space as its object. Now you concentrate your mind on this Agasananjayana Chaita, and you reflect Vijnana. So if your mind remains in this object for 1 hour, 2 hours or more, then we say you arrive at the second jhana that we call Vijnananjayana Kusala Chaita. So we can read number 2. In going up the ladder of concentration, what I mean here, the ladder of concentration going higher, to the second Arupa Vajra jhana. The meditator meditates on Akasananjayana Kusala Chaita. When the degree of concentration is high enough, the second Arupa Vajra Apanaviti will arise. The object that appears at the mind door is Akasananjayana Kusala Chaita, which causes the cognitive series of Bhavinga Chalana, Bhavingu Pichita, Manodwara Vachana, Prikama. You omit this in Tikha Panya person. And then Upachara, Anuloma, Godrabhu, and Vijnananjayana Kusala Chaita as Apana Javana to arise. Life continuum then flows on as usual. So Vijnananjayana Kusala Chaita again arises just one, and after that only life continuum keep arising. To develop the third Arupa jhana. So the meditator must practice to be skillful in developing the second Arupa Vajra jhana. Then he comes out from that second Arupa Vajra jhana, and this time he ignores that Akasananjayana jhana Chaita that he focused on in developing Vijnananjayana Chaita. Now he ignores that, so he don't pay attention to it, and he pay attention to nothingness. So how do you pay on your attention on nothingness? So now, this is at least a pointer. So if I move away in that place, what exists in that place? Nothing exists, and there is nothingness, you say. So you just reflect on nothingness. So when you can concentrate, 1 hour, 2 hours or more, then we say you attain the third Arupa Vajra jhana. So as this jhana concentrate on nothingness, we call it Akinchanya. Akinchanya means nothingness. So we call it Akinchanya Yarana Kusala jhana. So the viti would be the same as before. So this, the jhana, only the jhana chaita changes. So it arises just one, and then Bhavinga chaita will keep arising. So to develop the fourth Arupa Vajra jhana, so the meditator fixes his mind, his attention on that Akinchanya Yarana jhana chaita. He just keep his mind fixed on that jhana chaita. So if we can focus for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours or more, so we say he attained the higher jhana. And that jhana is known as Neva Sanya Na Sanya Yarana Kusala Chaita. So the viti form is the same as before again. So the jhana arises in this time is Neva Sanya Na Sanya Yarana Kusala Chaita. It arises just one, and then followed by Bhavinga Chaitas. So if you can develop the fourth Rupa Vajra jhana by this anapanastic meditation, you can develop these 5 Rupa Vajra jhana and four Arupa Vajra jhana on Kasina meditation very easily. So because you can develop easily, they are taught in Bhav Meditation Center. Because by developing this higher jhana, so your concentration becomes more powerful, more skillful. and it will be a better weapon to undertake vipassana.